you're just in the background, just so you know. Hello. Excuse my appearance, but it's the best I could do. I see someone saying hello to Doug already. So I'm assuming Doug Davis is on. Hello, Sylvia. Oh, Doug, thanks for running the chat while I was trying to log on. Doug saying hello to everyone. So welcome. I know it's crazy again on Wednesday night. Keep changing, but that's what we got. So I want to tell you guys, for the first I don't even know the numbers to it, but let me look it up. But I wanted to share with you guys that I'm having a podcast that comes out, and it's called Hey Spirit. And we're going to do things like where you can call up this hotline and leave questions for me. And then if I will read your question live on the air, and you might just get a phone call from me and then to discuss your question live on the podcast. So I think it'll be really, really fantastic. So I wanted to share the number with you guys first. It's 1-877-T-Caputo. So I want to give you the actual number. So I have to look for the email now. So you guys know this is how I do things. I'm not really ever prepared for anything, but
it's 1-877-822-7886.
Okay, so it's 877-822-7786. So
7886. Sorry.
7786. I'm giving you the wrong number. It's 877-T-Caputo. So that's all you need to know. And then you guys can figure out the numbers. 1-877-822-7886. I said it right.
Okay.
You said it.
I did. I said it right.
7886. So if you forget the numbers, it's 877-T-Caputo. You could call right now if you want, and you can leave me a message. And then we're going to answer questions on the podcast. Because, as you guys know, I run everything through my fan club first and see how it's received. And these live chats have been really great. You guys have been really, oh my God, I just got to look at myself and think. I had such a crazy day today. I know my hair's a mess, so I'm trying to fix it. Run everything by you guys first and test things out. And so it works, and it's fantastic and amazing, and you guys are amazing. So if you want to be a part of Hey Spirit, you can email also the fan club, and also leave a message at 1-877-T-Caputo. Sounds so weird, right? So we have all your questions, all 20 pages of questions. Diane likes my hair this way. Thank you. When is the podcast and where? That I will announce to you also. I'm just letting you know that I'm starting it now. It's all in the works, and it's going to be called Hey Spirit. And you guys will be the first to know when it's going to air and where you can find it.
Yay.
I just glanced at the paper and I saw Ronnie. I was like, did my mother write a question to the fan club? So I'll read Ronnie's first, even though it's like in the middle of the page. Theresa, I was wondering, are our loved ones all together in the afterlife? My parents, brother, and my beloved husband have all passed away, and it would give me such comfort to know that they are all together, to know that they are all watching over me. Absolutely, Ronnie. I just did this for a reading yesterday, actually for the podcast, where there was a young girl that unfortunately passed, and she started bringing forward all other loved ones that had passed on before her, because that's what the mom was worried, was that she was alone and that she wasn't with anyone on the other side. So from what Spirit has acknowledged is that when we leave the physical world, that's when our soul circle, anyone that we were connected here in the physical world, even if we didn't know each other, like if they're great-grandparents, they're going to be connected on the other side. So we are all reunited with our departed loved ones that go before us. So this question is from John, and I believe he was a VIP winner one time up in one of my favorite places to be, besides Long Island, is Illinois. Great fans in Illinois, and I think that's where we had the VIP meet and greet. So he wanted to ask about his parents. My father passed on July 30th, followed by my mom in August of this year. My son Brandon passed 3 years ago at the age of 23, and that was extremely difficult. But this roller coaster of emotion with the double loss of my parents really has me spinning. I can't even imagine what it must be like for you, John. I feel like my parents around me as much as I do my son, and I hope they are all together and all right. I miss them all so much and want to know if my mom could hear me talking to her at her bedside the day she passed. She was my best friend and my hero. Since I was a baby, we spent so much time together when I was younger. She introduced me to the joy of music. So what I find interesting, John, because you did kind of give a lot of details in your question, but typically when I pick up a piece of paper, you start from the top, right? What did I do? I started at the middle of the page where it said Ronnie. And Ronnie's question was, do our loved ones, are they reunited in the afterlife? And absolutely 100%. So know that they are all together. Your mom, as I was reading, did show me the holding of the hands and the whispering of the ear. And is John on? I wonder if John is on.
I remember John. I met him. I hope he is.
Jane is saying hello to you from Wales, Victoria.
Oh, hi.
And Lorraine and Laura.
Hi. They saw me crawling around.
I guess somebody else says LOL Victoria. Oh, Beverly Crockett is LOL Victoria. So I guess you did see her crawling around on the back of the floor. Everyone's saying hello, Victoria. Everyone's saying that the video was frozen, but my video was not freezing. Am I freezing on you?
Yeah, you're freezing on me. Yeah. I'm on with Sylvia.
My Wi-Fi is strong.
Yeah.
Everything's on good. I mean, I can try to exit and then come back on again. Can I do that?
I'm not sure.
No, but anyway.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I don't know why it's freezing. I mean, I'm showing I got everything strong here.
It's very good now.
Oh, okay. There's nobody here but me. So it's not like my son's playing video games. He's 30 years old and plays video games all day. Anyway, I don't know if anybody else out there feels me with that. Ray says it's not freezing. Okay, so we're getting better. So what I saw, John, was the holding of the hands and the whispering of the ear, which means nothing was left unsaid. And then I also did see my symbol for where your son actually greeted your parents when they left the physical world. So know that your son's soul was there to greet them. I don't know if John is on. If not, I hope you will rewatch this. And you know, that's the whole thing. I talk about it all the time.
John's
on.
on.
Okay. Oh, John's on. Okay, good. So know, John, that your son was there to greet your parents. And your dad literally made me feel like he could not, that your mom says I couldn't live. And it's almost like she died of a broken heart. And it was almost like all of these passing was just too much for her to bear. And she says that that was her in the dreams and what you saw that night. So I don't know if you thought that you saw your mom or you felt her, and if there was a visitation or a dream. Know that that was her, and more importantly, that that was real and it wasn't your imagination or wishful thinking.
John said they were married 66 years.
Oh my God, 66 years.
Yeah.
Oh, and it was almost like it was just way too much for her. And I don't know what it is, but your son keeps coming forward in, and I know his soul has grown on the other side. And I don't know if you have this picture of him, but I keep feeling he comes forward like in this blue t-shirt and shorts. And it's almost like he's wearing like a baseball bat and a hat. I don't know if you have this picture of him like in a blue shirt or remembering him as a young child or your favorite picture when he was a young boy. But that's how I keep feeling like I see him is that way. So just know that that is also a sign from your son as well. And I just felt like I smelled cologne. So I don't know if that's something that you sense with your dad, John, that you smell him or smell things that remind you of him. Just know that that is him. Oh, there was also something. So what?
John said, yeah, he wore a baseball shirt and a picture that I have.
Perfect. So when spirit acknowledges something so specific like the picture, John, it validates that when you look at this, his soul is with you at that exact moment. And it's almost like as I'm feeling things, I can hear like your mom being like, you're going to be okay. You're going to get through this. We're going to be right by your side spiritually. And even though it's not the same, that we're physically not there, we haven't left you. This is why I feel them so strong. And more importantly, your mom, is so that you know that you are being guided and protected from them. And more importantly, that they are with you. So I keep hearing twinkle, twinkle, little star. So when I hear that, that's typically my symbol from a song from a child. So I don't know if there's something specific with stars, or you can connect with that song or some type of nursery rhyme or song. And John, I am very sorry for all of your losses. It is so much to bear. And that's the thing that Spirit talks about, like even with the reading, that we go on this emotional roller coaster of pain, sorrow, loss, happiness, grief. And it's just this up and down. And I'm very sorry that you're going through that right now, especially with everything going on in this world. But know that they are together. And your mom is just like beaming from ear to ear, like, I had the best son. You know, my son, my son, my son. So Karina says, I live in England and I watch your show all the time. And I wanted to say thank you because it gives me hope that my loved one is still watching over me. I just hope I'm not disappointing him. Keep doing what you do. Your friend. Oh, thank you so much, Karina. You know, I think the only way that, because I did not feel disappointment as I read this. And I think that what happens is the only way that Spirit has ever said that they were disappointed in someone is if they weren't living their life, their hopes, their dreams, or living their life the way that God intended, or more importantly, the way that we were prior to our prior to losing our loved ones. So I think that as long as you love and honor yourself and always just do the right thing, you can never disappoint your loved ones. So,
And John had validated the cologne, and he came in and was validating everything that you said.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, good. So I'm glad you were able to join us tonight, John. Brittany's question says she wants to say thank you for the live chats. She said I was sad. She said I was sadly unable to do one last week. 2 weeks ago, Sunday on August 30th, our brand new house was struck by lightning and caught fire.
Oh my God.
We all got out, including our 3 big dogs, and we loaded up in our van and pulled out across the street, and we watched our top of our home burn as firefighters worked so hard to help put it out. Our insurance is now working to finish demo and start the rebuild process. Oh boy. My question is to you, is there such a thing as the grieving process for something like this? I feel if a loved one passes away, I've lost a lot of my childhood as well as my 3 kids' keepsakes. Today, I'm feeling pretty sad, but staying strong for my family. So Brittany, this is exactly what my new book, Good Morning, is about. Good Morning is about what we grieve what once was, whatever that may be. And actually, there is a chapter in the book about losing a home, and there is 2 stories of people losing their home to a fire, and talking about on how we grieve that. So absolutely, there is a grieving process that you will go through. Keepsakes, yes, but it's something that my mom always told me. Physical things are always great, but what we keep in our hearts and in our memory is the best keepsake. So if there are certain things, maybe especially photos, I know that's so hard to retrieve, and especially of your children when they were younger, but maybe there were other family members and ways for you to receive some things like that. And the most important thing is that everyone is okay and healthy, and no one lost their life in the fire. So that is the one true blessing. So I will pray for you as you go through the process of rebuilding again. But I hope, you know, I hope that even maybe, you know, if you read Good Morning, which comes out on October 6th, and read that chapter, Losing a Home. So it's pretty amazing that these things that I wrote about over a year ago is a lot of things that people are going through now. So Kathy says, I lost my son in a terrorist attack on U.S. soil 5 years ago. He was a United States Marine. He was just 21 years old. I still struggle so much with his loss. He was my best friend. I have had one experience with him that I know of. I am wondering how often he's with me. Recently, I was just going to say to you, I think it's not so much about seeing them, whether it be in a dream or it's sometimes just a feeling. Sometimes seeing and sensing spirit is a knowing for you. So even if you feel like someone's standing behind you, next to you, if you feel something brush up against your face, or sometimes someone will actually hear someone call their name, know that that is your son. You cannot make up what you're sensing and feeling, and there's no such thing as a coincidence. I am wondering how often he's with me. Recently, I think that I have felt him near me. I have such a void in my heart. I feel like I have no purpose. What can you tell me about this, about his current state? So I can tell you that your son is with you, and that before I even finished reading that I felt those things on how you sense and feel him. You know, I don't think there's anything that your son or that I could say to you that will make that feeling go away. I mean, you lost everything. You lost your son. Parents aren't supposed to bury their children, and especially in this way. But for you to be able to sense and feel him, know that he is with you, and more importantly, that he is safe and at peace. He also keeps showing me the picture of him in his uniform, and he showed me my symbol for where someone was proud and that they died doing what they love to do. And that's hard for me to say. You know, sometimes people a soul will have me say that if they died in a motorcycle accident and their parents didn't support them having the motorcycle, so they will say that. So your son was very proud of who he was. Kim says, hi, Theresa. Me and my daughter are your biggest fans. My son was in the Air Force and took his own. See, I was getting this when I was reading. Yeah, when I was reading Kathy, when I was reading the message from Kathy. So it's almost like Kathy's son was like bringing forward Kim's son. Took his own life on June 22nd, and he was only 21. And now my daughter has fallen into a deep depression. I can't lose her too. Please help. You know, I think that's the hardest thing, is that we are only responsible for our own actions. And especially when something like this happens, when someone takes responsibility for their passing and they do something that causes or attributes to their passing. Hi. Do you just feel like, do you believe that this is my life? Like, they're just popping in, like, not even like, do you have anything to say?
Hello, everybody.
She was taking a nap.
Well, I was laying down.
Oh, okay.
I'm wearing my slippers.
Oh, well, I like your slip.
Okay, I'm leaving.
Okay. Oh, everyone's saying hello, Victoria. Beautiful.
Hi, everybody.
So Victoria made her appearance, her weekly appearance. Thanks for all the love for Victoria. Oh, Pamela says she loves your shirt.
Thanks. Target.
Target. She got it at Target. Everyone loves your shirt. So yeah, you're right. That is love. She just pops in, you know, like, you know, nothing sacred in this house. So, you know, I am going to say this, Kim, I hope you're on. And what I did was I saw your son step forward, took responsibility for his departure. More importantly, he says there was nothing that that anyone could have done to have made me feel better. And he says my sister was always there for me. And I don't know if you guys were thinking of doing something in honor or in memory of him. And he says that that will help his sister have some type of purpose. He shows me her writing something about him. So I don't know if she wrote a poem or wrote something. I don't care if she posted it on Facebook or just wrote it for herself, because he says, I want to thank my sister for the amazing and beautiful tribute that she gave me, because he salutes. And you told me that he was already in the Air Force. So the saluting would mean that he's proud of how someone paid tribute to them. He says, Mom, I do hear your prayers and I am watching over. And I just saw a shadow. So I don't know if someone saw that in the home or we think we see something go by. He says, know that that is me. And he keeps going like this. So know that his soul is safe and at peace with God. Kelly says, thank you so much for what you do. Your books have helped me so much in my healing. And I know my son has also been guiding me through them. He likes to synchronize his signs to me, what I'm reading in your books. Oh my God, that's amazing. And this is, my 4-year-old son passed away from chemo side effects in May. Looking back, his death seemed divinely orchestrated, although he had planned it with God. But it was a complete surprise to me. I'm wondering why he didn't tell me goodbye. So what I saw, Kelly, when I saw this was I saw handprints. So I don't know if you, I don't know if Kelly is on.
Yeah, she's on.
Oh, okay. Your son shows me handprints. So I don't know if you have his handprints or if you made handprints prior to his departure, or there was something with his handprints you were thinking of doing. There's something that I felt odd, because I felt that his soul was young, but I think I read that, but I still felt that from him. But yet I felt like he was such an old soul, and I always just see him. When I feel him, I just feel like smiling and happy and such a strong, vibrant presence. And it's almost like that's how he wants you to remember him. And I do feel like it was very quick. He kept snapping his fingers, and it was almost like everything was a surprise for his passing as well. It's almost like, a lot of times the soul knows of the departure, but here doesn't know. And then there was something about a blanket, and then he showed me a keepsake box that you have of his belongings. Oh, Kelly said, yes, we have his handprints.
Yeah.
And, like things like that are just the validations that, and sometimes the first step in being able to heal. Look, you're going to grieve the loss of your loved ones, whether you lost your parents, your child, your spouse, a sibling. You're going to grieve them for the rest of your life here in the physical world, but the healing process is something completely different. And that's where it might start, just by knowing that they are with you, that they're safe. And then for you to be able to embrace these signs and symbols on your own every day. Because they're there. And a lot of times we don't see them. And, a lot of times, that happens when we're in our own little funk, or like we're not, or our minds are so distracted that we miss these signs and symbols, So, Donna says, thank you for having these live chats. They mean so much during these difficult times. My question is regarding my brother who passed last year. He had a difficult life. I saw the ups and downs. I just wanted to know that he's finally at peace. Blessings to you and your beautiful family. So Donna, what I saw was a medication bottle, and he threw it against the wall. That's my symbol for was someone, and the ups and downs that I saw at the beginning is my symbol for that, where someone, no matter what it is, whether it be a mental disability, physical or a disease, it's something that they go through and they struggle through their entire life, and then their passing comes to a complete surprise to us. And then with the medication bottle is usually my symbol for where they tried everything and just nothing seemed to have worked. So that's why they throw, because it's almost like there was nothing else that we could do. And then I saw eagle. So eagle and a span of eagle wings. And that is my symbol for that the soul is free. So Cheryl says, I've been to 2 of your live shows in Florida, my sister-in-law, and I love you, and we can't wait for you to come back. My question is, how do you deal with the guilt when one feels when a loved one passes of suicide? So many unanswered questions, and I just want to know if there is a message from my brother. Thank you in advance. One of your biggest fans, as you have many. Keep up the great work you do. So Cheryl, this seems to be a running theme tonight of people souls taking responsibility for their departure. And that seems to, listen, I'm not making up these questions. You guys are sending in these questions. So when we have these topics, that one goes one after another, it's just a validation on how the souls do come together. And these live chats, whether I do a live chat or it's a live group reading, is that the souls band together to deliver as many messages as they possibly can at one time. And a lot of times, when the soul takes responsibility, and I believe it was with Kim, her son, when I was channeling him, this is where the piggybacking comes in, Cheryl. So, and for anyone else out there, even if I don't speak directly to you, anything that Spirit has me say, please know that that is from your departed loved one, if you can connect with it. If it's a burden or a guilt or something that you're struggling with, or maybe it's a question that you just have, that when Spirit says, and they take responsibility for that passing, and that there was nothing more that we could do, that we could have done for them. You know, that is the biggest thing. And if we look at that also as if people here in the physical world, on how we try to help people here every day in our lives here in the physical world, right? And if someone doesn't heed or take your advice or the lessons that you have to offer them to learn, we're not responsible for that. We're only responsible for ourselves. And that's one of the remarkable things that I find when a soul passes and they take responsibility. When they take responsibility for their choices, actions, sometimes they take responsibility for their non-actions that cause or attribute to their passing, relieving us of those burdens and guilt, because they see from the other side that it's not our responsibility, or more importantly, wasn't our responsibility, that they bared that. So, know that I don't know what it was, but I kept seeing like a bandana. So sometimes a bandana is my symbol for that is something that they had, or they liked a bandana, or you can connect with a bandana, or for some reason it has to do with rock band or rock concerts. So my hair is just a hot mess tonight. So is Cheryl on?
I've asked. It's the chat runs slower. Like you're
What do you mean?
You're behind me.
Oh, I'm
behind
you?
Yeah, like I'm watching. I'm like a little delayed. Like you just got up on mine.
I had to get a water.
Oh, I would have got it for you. She'll be back. She's getting a water.
I'm just coming back. I'm
She
getting
is
water.
coming back.
I didn't go anywhere, and I didn't brush my hair either. So don't worry. I still have the same. I was just so thirsty. So Sandy says, I would love to hear from my mom. How do you communicate with them in a different language? I so appreciate your gift. I attended your Colorado Spring show last year, and you are so funny. Thank you, Sandy. I would love to make it back to Colorado. So this is why it doesn't matter on if someone spoke another language, because I don't see or hear the way we do here in the physical world. It's more of a feeling. So if Spirit is showing me signs and symbols or things that I've experienced here in the physical world, or making me feel an emotion, through whether someone communicated with a different language, it doesn't matter to me. So it is all through feeling. So your mom just showed me an apron and or a nightgown. So I don't know. I'm talking to you as if I know that you're on here. Sandy.
I'm waiting to see if she is.
So someone says not me. So I guess that was a different Sandy.
Yeah.
So souls can communicate even though they didn't speak it. Listen, I'm not even good at English, so just a little joke. Anyway, it's true though. So I guess she's not on.
Yeah, I don't see it.
So I saw like an apron or a nightgown. So sometimes that's if someone kept something of cooking, and also a nightgown, or they wore something specific. They always like to wear nightgowns. What else? She showed me. Oh, she also showed me a recipe book, and I did see different language. So I don't know if you have something written in another language from your mom. I don't care if it's an address book, if it's a recipe, validating that you kept things that really have no monetary value, but more importantly, meant the most to her and or you. Dana says, my mom passed away 3 years ago. We had an incredible relationship for 54 years. However, her final moments are something I cannot get out of my head, and I need to help put to rest any messages. So what I saw was your mom taking responsibility, and she kind of pushed me away. So that, what?
Oh, I just froze.
Oh,
You might still be going.
okay. So what I saw was what happens with that is when spirit puts a food tray in front of me and throws it at me, that's my symbol for that they were not the same in the end when they died. So whether she had Alzheimer's or dementia, or there was some type of disease that took away her personality or the way that she truly was as a person, that's her saying that that was not me, that was what was ever going on with me. It was not how I truly felt. So that's just my symbol. When they take that tray of food and throw it at me and they apologize for their actions, that truly wasn't what meant from their heart. And she also showed me a blanket. So I don't know if you have her blanket or if there was something about a blanket. And Wendy says, it's been 5 years since I lost my mom and I can't talk about her, and even texting the questions makes me cry. And I want to know if it's ever going to get better. You know, Wendy, I think, again, this is something that I spoke about earlier. This is Wendy with an E, 2 E's. You know, I think especially, you know, losing a mom, I think no matter how old you are, whether you're a man or a woman, you know, you always want your mom, right? And you always look for your mom. And losing your mom is very, very difficult. I don't even know where to begin to even tell you that because I can't even imagine losing my mom. So, you know, this is all part of the grieving process. And, you know, you might cry every day. That doesn't mean that that you're not healing or that there's something wrong. You know, as long as you are living your life, if you stop living because of her loss, that's where spirit always raises a concern. But if it's hard for you to talk about her and you cry, I don't know, that's okay. I just don't. It's hard for me because I'm not a therapist, and it's just how spirit makes me feel that it's okay no matter how long your loved one is gone. If you cry every day, even the mention of their name or just thinking about them, and then you cry, who says that there's anything wrong with that? As long as you're getting up every day, you're going out, you're putting your best foot forward, and you are living your life, then spirit supports that. So I just wouldn't be so hard on yourself. It's okay to still cry. James says, my sisters and I lost our mother suddenly. Just recently we read your books. However, we wonder if she's doing okay and around. Also, we are planning on moving and want to ensure that it's the right thing to do. James, I don't know if you're on, but what I did feel was that how I felt was that you really had to move, like you really didn't have a choice. So I think that is a sign that it is the right thing to do. And then she also, so when spirit shows me a bunch of signs and symbols together, it's almost like saying that she leaves so many and that you're seeing all of the symbols. So I saw the red cardinal, the butterfly, the ladybug. So when I see a bunch of symbols at one time, that's my symbol for that. And, you know, your mom says, you know, I'm sorry for leaving so quickly and unexpectedly. She says, but I would never have wanted anyone to watch me be sick. So even though it was very hard because she left so sudden, she says, I would not have wanted you to have watched me be sick. Carol says, my husband died about 11 years ago, and I want to know if he has any messages for me. My children still this day are struggling with his loss. So what I saw was a lot of milestones within the family since his departure, validating that he has attended each and every one of them. What he did is he put me in a field and then put me in bleachers. So that's my symbol that there was some type of graduation or moving up ceremony that his soul has attended in spirit. When spirit shows me a lot of things that we feel that he missed out on, it's my symbol for where spirit wants us to go back to pictures. So if you go to any of these events that you've attended over the years since your husband's passing and you notice blurbs or orbs or distortions in the pictures, know that that is the camera picking up your husband's soul and energy and validating that he has not missed out on anything. He just handed red roses. So red roses is my symbol for love and devotion, but more importantly, an anniversary. So I don't know if it's your wedding anniversary coming up or just passed, or more importantly, of his departure, or it's just something that he always did, or to send roses to you. Reagan says, hi, Theresa. Thank you so much for what you do. I lost my husband a year and a half ago, and now I have just lost my mother on Labor Day. They were my two best friends, and I am completely lost and just want to know that they are happy and at peace. So I felt like your husband was like the biggest ham, because I feel like I never saw this before. He like put his hair, and this is what I love when spirit communicates with personality. He kind of put, Wendy was saying why
I know, that's what
why
I'm
she's
looking
not
at.
seemed to
So
come
funny, I'm
through,
looking at Wendy's
especially
question at the
when you
same
were
time.
reading my question, but I thought she did.
Yeah, I'm not understanding that either. I just asked her. I just said Wendy with a question mark because I don't know what she's referring to at all.
Oh, because all I did was address that why she was crying, because that was her question, was why she was crying.
Okay.
So and that's how I felt, was that it was okay. So I'll try to get back to that. So what I saw was that your husband was very funny, because this is what I love about personality when spirit does this. I feel like he put his arm around your mother and was almost like tickling her. Like it was almost like, I wouldn't go anywhere without her, so they must have had a really good relationship or close as well to each other. There was something with the breath, and I was having a lot of difficulty breathing. So I don't know if that's how you remember them, or more importantly, if that was what you were worried about or what they felt. So know that they don't want you to remember with the struggling of the breath or having trouble to breathe. And there was also something, I think I'm going to go back to Wendy. Is Wendy still on? Because
Yes.
I kept getting the breath. And then I watched.
Yeah.
Okay. So is Wendy still on?
Yes.
So Wendy, I felt that I watched 3 breaths, and then when spirit has me stare at the 3rd breath and then release it, that's my symbol for that you keep going back to the way that they died. And that is what, and there was something about the last breath. Did Wendy come on?
Yeah. We were with her in a room.
Okay.
We were with her. Yeah.
So she watched her take. See, a lot of people don't have that ability, or didn't have the opportunity to sit with their loved one as they took their last breath. So know that, and she just said to me that you felt something in that room. When I feel as if a soul moves through me, that's just my symbol for that you felt something at the moment she took her last breath. Know that that was your mother's soul. I'm waiting to see if she responds to that.
Yeah. Reagan, I just saw the craziest thing.
What?
I could see, I was watching her, I could see this right here, but I don't see me anymore. Bizarro. Oh, God. It's very crazy.
Reagan, they did love each other. Thank you so much. And yes, she couldn't breathe. So Reagan
Okay.
was validating everything that you
Okay,
said.
perfect.
You know, we've had Beverly Crockett on here
Okay.
a couple of weeks now, and she
lose a son?
lost her son. Yeah.
I just heard that. She wants to hear from
Yeah.
her. But I mean, I heard that from Spirit.
Yeah.
Okay, so know that your son is stepping forward. He made me feel like he's been gone for some time. So that could, because when a soul shows me, when Spirit shows me a small child and then the soul gets bigger as I hold them, that's my symbol for that the soul has continued to grow on the other side. Or if that's something that you wanted to remember. There was also something about a picture, Beverly. I don't know if it's on a bike or a wagon, because I saw a picture of a bike, but then I kept seeing the color red. So usually when I see red in a picture, I don't know why, it's my symbol for a wagon. So I don't know if you have a picture like that, if there was something that you were looking at. And I don't know, I keep seeing the number 14 and the number 11. So I don't know how you can connect with those two numbers. Beverly, is she on?
Yeah, she's on. I'm just waiting.
Oh, okay.
I think the chat is like a little behind.
How come?
I don't know. I don't know.
That's the thing with electronics.
I know. Right?
You know?
I don't know where Beverly went. She was.
Oh, Angelique, I don't know what you were asking, but I kept hearing yes, yes. And I kept seeing a table. So yes, your husband was with you. And then I felt like, I can't believe that you actually did that. And that, because then I kept seeing like a table for two. And then I saw like another plate for him. And then I felt like you were talking to him the whole time in your head. So just know that he was with you and he heard everything. Someone just asked, I don't know who.
Scooter, Beverly.
Oh, perfect. So the scooter, it's just validating again that the soul is at peace. And I know that's like kind of strange, Beverly, but it's something so odd that there's no way I would know about. Validating that even when you think about it, look at this picture, recall these memories, know that his soul is with you at that exact moment. He also refers to his clothing. So do you still have his clothing? Usually when Spirit shows me, a dresser drawer and they open it up and I can see all the piles of the clothing and then they place it on a bed and then they wrap me with a blanket. That's my symbol for, that's my symbol for that you still have his clothing and you're not sure what to do with it. And maybe you thought about making a quilt or a teddy bear or a pillow or making something out of his clothing. This doesn't mean you should do this. It just validates that he would support that choice and decision if you chose to do something like that. That's all.
Beverly's like, oh my God, yes, I do.
Okay.
So yeah.
And Beverly, he's also bringing forward a father energy. So I don't know if this is for your grandfather or your dad, but it was a father figure. And remember on how I feel. So when I feel a father figure, know that that could be grandfather, father-in-law, know that that is him. All he does is run around like he was so fast. I don't know if that's what he just loved to do. Jumping from one thing to another. And so I actually felt something brush by me. So know if you ever feel that, Beverly, know that that is your son's soul and that he is still with you even after this time. Oh, I feel very tight. You know what? I did this. I don't know what. Do you guys ever like eat so much that you just can't take it anymore? So I started this cleanse and now
I was gonna say, not you.
Oh, Beverly says he totally runs.
Yeah.
That's all he's doing. And that's what I love, because especially if someone was ill or we're wondering if they're okay, when they show me how they were before they left here in the physical world, it really validates that the soul is at peace. Beverly, you also just showed me something with stars. So I don't know how you can connect with stars. I don't know if it's the song Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, or if you actually connect with stars, if there was a star named after him, or again, something you were thinking about doing. If you could just,
Did he, oh, Beverly's actually just asking, did he save his sister? He almost lost his sister 3 times.
I don't know what this was. I felt like this, like filling up with fluid. So I don't know where that came from. So usually if filling up with fluid, we either be a drowning, or something like that. But I forgot what she asked, but I heard yes. So
She asked if he had saved her
oh,
daughter.
I heard yes. There was some type of accident or something.
Wow. I just got you.
So an accident could be anything where we feel that someone should have been more seriously injured and they weren't. It validates that spirit had watched over and, more importantly, protected us at that time. So Christine says, my mother Karen was placed up for adoption when she was a baby and just recently found her birth mother. My mother's biological brother passed away before ever getting the chance to meet his sister. Does he know about her? If yes, how does he feel about the reconnection between his mother and sister? What I saw was yes, and I did see the brother soul step forward, and I felt that he was taking responsibility for them being reconnected. And then there was something, he just showed me something about pictures. So I don't know if his biological mom showed pictures, and it was almost like her favorite. It was like, I don't know if there was something funny about the picture, but it was almost like, why does she love that picture? I look like such a goofball in there. So I don't know what happened with the picture, but there was something funny about the picture. So there was someone, I saw someone was, so Maria says, I lost my baby last year. I was 2 months pregnant. I would like to know when I lost the baby, if both my grandmothers were there to get the baby's soul, please. Okay, so yes, Maria, because what I saw was a blue blanket, and I also saw a pink blanket. Usually that's my symbol for if people lost 2 children, miscarriage, or a termination, or if they didn't know what the soul was. So know that, and what I saw were yellow blankets. I don't know why when I see a yellow blanket, that is my symbol for when the child was greeted by a grandmother on the other side. And then I kept seeing daisies. So like, I think they're daisies. They're like this white flower with like a yellow inside. So I don't know if you can connect that with your grandmothers. And then I just saw a rosary bead, and I just kept hearing prayers. And so I don't know if you're Catholic, but I kept hearing like the Hail Mary and the Our Father. So I don't know where the prayers come in, or the meaning of that. So Felicia says that it's been about a month since her mom's passing. Each day gets harder and harder. She says, I keep getting this feeling that she is here with me. Then I just tear up and I start crying. It would mean so much to my dad and I if we could get a message from her. Thank you and have a blessed week. So Felicia, this is exactly, that was also what Wendy was saying too. Yeah. Wendy, and honestly, no, I don't even think this is not a common question or something that commonly comes up in someone's reading. So know that it's okay. And I felt like that your mom was also like kind of being funny with your dad. She goes, my husband didn't think he was going to miss me this much. And then I kept seeing, again, this is where I think this is what Spirit is trying to do, is to say we need to pay attention to the things that they have me say, even if I'm not reading your question or speaking to you directly. Because I just saw, again, the table of 2, but I saw it more for breakfast in the morning, and I saw coffee, and then I had me dunking my toast in my coffee. I don't do that. So it must be something, Felicia, I don't know if your dad did that or your mom did that, but it's validating on how he still carries her memory with him every single day. And she shows me a lot of pacing. So I don't know who's pacing or is up all night. And then I could see someone standing at the foot of my bed. So I don't know if your dad thought or you saw it, you thought that you saw her in the home for a split second. Know that that was her. And I keep hearing, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay. And then she said, please tell them that I was not afraid to die. So know that her soul is safe and at peace, and more importantly, that she is with God. Okay. Chuck says, my wife and I have been to many of your shows. How can you help my mother-in-law, Joan, who lost her husband unexpectedly of 66 years? Wow. To believe she received signs. She talks to him, but tells us she does not receive signs. The thing with signs, Chuck, is that it's so hard because signs are an individual thing. So you could lose the same person, but not connect with the same sign and symbol. Signs and symbols come to us completely out of nowhere when we're least expecting it. So and sometimes people don't even realize, and they don't put the signs together. So it's anything that is odd or weird. And I also, this is what I heard, was that she doesn't see the signs because she's too busy talking to me all day long. And then to validate this, I kept seeing he stepped forward in pajamas. So either he always liked to wear a particular type of clothing, like if he would, this is just an example, like if they would only like to wear a black t-shirt and Levi's, it always had to be like one specific thing, sometimes with the pajamas. But I think it has something to do with pajamas because I just opened up a closet and I kept seeing his pajamas in the closet. Lori says, first of all, thank you for sharing your gift. I have been going through a really rough patch lately and feeling a bit down. I lost my mama in October 2016. She was my best friend and I miss her so much. I guess I always will. This is the crazy thing. This is not the first question that I read tonight where someone wrote in about losing their mom and where they're crying and they just cannot get over the loss of their mom and that their mom was their best friend. So she says she has an experience where a machine turned on midday by itself a few times about 2 weeks ago. I assumed it was nothing and blamed it on my cat. No, it was your mother. Then it came on and I was engulfed in my mom's perfume. Mama always wore her perfume. I was overwhelmed and still, am I just thinking about it? Was it Mama? Yes, it was your mom. Does she have a message that you could relate to me from her? That was your mom. So know that if you feel crazy things happen, the lights go on. I just saw The Price is Right. So that's my symbol for, was someone loved a favorite television show. Maybe it was The Price is Right, but more importantly, when they loved a show and maybe you watch it now or it comes on and or she plays with the TV. The volume, sometimes the volume will go up and down. One night I had it where my TV was just changing channels for no reason. And my grandfather, he had to watch Jeopardy at a certain time. He loved his certain shows. And I know it was him. So these are the things that are so crazy. You can't make this up. Your mom's energy was so strong. More importantly, your bond and relationship that you shared with her was so strong that I wouldn't put anything past her. So pay attention to those things that continue to go on and off. Your mom also just said, I'm not cold anymore, because she lifted up a blanket and placed it to the side. So validating that when the soul left the physical body, she left behind every disability and or ailment. She started jumping up and down. So she had to have been bedridden prior to her departure as well. Validating that her soul is at peace and more importantly was completely healed on the other side. I also don't know why, Lori, but she kept showing me patches. I don't know what it was. I don't know. Do you remember years ago when you were younger, you would sew patches on your jackets and stuff like that? So that's what she showed me. So I don't know why she showed me that, but that's what I saw. Or unless if you can connect with patches. I know Victoria, her fiance, they have a dog. His name is Patch, but I call him Patches. Okay, so guess what, guys? I'm gonna pick you an angel card. It is intention. I love this card. This is not the first time that I picked this card. And I think this is so, so, so important because honestly, this is how we can make true changes in the world and more importantly in the universe is by setting our own intentions. Intentions. Your intentions create your experiences. What do you intend to happen? Make sure that your thoughts and feelings reflect your true intentions. By drawing this card, the angels ask you to take an inventory of your expectations. What do you expect to happen today, tomorrow, and or in the future? These expectations are the seeds of your intentions. An intention means that you have set a goal and intend to achieve it. Your intentions drive your experiences. The angels ask you to choose and infuse your intentions with love. See yourself and others as happy, successful, and peaceful. By holding these spiritual-minded intentions, you help yourself and others. The angels can help you replace negative mental habits with more empowering thoughts if you ask for their assistance. So that is exactly how we're going to end this live chat, is that we all have our intentions of positive, empowering intentions of love and light, for not only for ourselves, but also for everyone else around us. So I want to thank you guys for joining me tonight. And I hope you guys have a fantastic week, and God bless, and stay safe, and more importantly, hopeful.